Sometimes we lower the volume of our own excitement even before anybody else can get a chance to. In fact, we lower it so that other people won't get a chance to make us feel unexcited about things that get us going. Have you ever been that way? Have you ever been like really super excited about something? Like, that really giddy, like, oh my gosh, that's just so cool. Oh my gosh, my hair's a mess. Have you ever been that way? And then whatever happens, and you start really feeling like maybe you're off. Like maybe you don't really know what's exciting. Somebody is like, oh, well, that's stupid, and a thing like that gets into our head. And so then we get to the place where we start protecting ourselves before there's anything to protect from. We start managing expectations before there's anything out there to expect. And we end up at a real loss. We sacrifice ourselves, our opportunity, our possibility because of the fact that, you know, it's easier for us to, hurt ourselves than to give anybody else the opportunity to be able to hurt us. I'll give you the perfect example of this. This is an old story, but I always think of it. My dear uncle, um, I was in junior high, I suppose, whatever, middle school, something like that. And we lived right near my uncle and aunt, and they went to our church, and we were on a bowling league. And he told me one time right before, because there were several different teams and blah blah blah. He told me right before. He said some kind of excuse, oh, I kind of pulled out a muscle in my back tonight, today at work. And I was like, oh wow, that's too bad. And then he tells me, he's like, no, see, you got to understand, you got to let people know what your excuse is because it works on two levels. One, if you do really well, then it's like, wow, look at what I overcame. And two, if you do end up having a bad night, you've already set the stage for the fact that it's like, well, you didn't expect I was going to do good because, after all, I'm dealing with this thing today, right? It's kind of a genius thing if you think about it a little bit. But it also, unfortunately, is really sad because then we end up showing up that way in the world. We end up tamping down or not showing at all our passion and our purpose in the world because we got to make sure people know our reasons for why before we tell them the what or the who or the whatever. That way, our expectations are so low and everybody else's expectations are so low that we won't have to worry about disappointing ourselves or others. I mean, after all, it's like your brain is saying, whoa, slow down. Don't get too excited. Don't let people think you're too much. Passion is vulnerable. Excitement is contagious, but it's also very scary. Being alive, really living, is the ultimate version of vulnerability. So we chill, we stay detached, we have that cool detachment. And from that, I think we end up with a lot of the content we're seeing now. Because some of the saddest content is people who are trying so hard to not let that passion come out too much, to manage the expectation, to keep it down, to be a little less than so that they can fit in. So let me ask you this question. What's something you secretly still get really excited about? Now, maybe you haven't said it out into the world. We'll try to create this as a safe space, but I'd really love to hear what is something that maybe you haven't shared much, but secretly you're really excited about it. I'd love to hear that. I'd love to celebrate it with you. I'm so grateful for you. I hope that you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. And then until we're together again next time, I hope you have an amazingly great week.